Um, Good. Hi. Okay, so it's by Tammuz, Atavshin Pei Pei, the 18th Tammuz. We're officially in the beautiful 3 weeks. I'm gonna say b'chavana, beautiful 3 weeks. Um, it's been a little hard for me to netzamtzem, because we're weaving all these beautiful energies together. We're doing our class, but it's also coming out in 3 weeks. And obviously that's hashgacha pratid and it's connected. So I would like to begin with a piece of Torah, because I noticed that when we begin with a piece of Torah, it just draws in a certain level of kedusha, and it brings in the energy of the holy masters, and then everything we're going to do flows from a different space. I noticed. So we're again from Avraham Yitzchak Kohen Cook, and you have wings of spirit. Al imun hadam be'atzmo b'chayav, on believing in yourself and in your life. Right? As we say, it's not enough to believe in Hashem, which halavai, we should believe in Hashem, right? I mean, even that's like a project. But it's a three, right? Yisrael, Kuchubrihu, or right Tachadhu. Torah, the creator, Yisrael is all one energy. Now it's hard for us to understand that, but they support one another, they feed into each other. That's one way to understand it, but it doesn't say it's kechad, it says chad. It's literally one energy as it's expressed in 3 different mediums. Human beings called Israel, frequency energy called Israel, which is the same energy, which is Oraita, living light, which is the same energy as Kuchabrihu, is the Holy One, blessed is He, right? It's all the same thing. It's all talking about the same thing. Light, transmissions of light, life force, energy, a compassionate, harmonizing, unifying frequency field. Okay, so far so good. So because we're learning IFS, internal family systems, and how it's really found in the Torah, I'm going to take a minute to show you something about self-energy. Okay, so there's a couple of qualities that are really important of how do we know we're in self-energy, right? So before I teach self-energy, we might call it in Tanya, the Nefesh Eloki, or the divine spirit, the divine soul, Chelek Elohai Mima'al Mamish, an actual piece of the living God that is inside of us, but it's holographic, so the piece contains everything, right? So we want to get better and better at being present with that energy, at being that energy, and then of relating from that energy. And this is what we're doing. This is it. This is the whole thing. This is what we're learning. So there are some hints that we can tap into to check and see if we're in self-energy. Okay, so first, here's a wonderful hint. If I have an agenda, in other words, I'm teaching this class because I need you to like me, because I want your approval, because I need to belong, because I need to get paid, right? It's not that any of those things are bad. It's just that they're more parts driven, meaning I have a lack, and this is something I'm looking to fill that lack. So I'm not in my wholeness. I'm not showing up in my wholeness, right? Back there. Right. And so as soon as if I have, now it's not bad to have agendas. It's not a bad thing to have agendas. We have needs, but as we get better, more and more of being present in our self-energy, it also beautifully connects into Emunah, that all will be provided, that there's nothing I have to do to earn anything, right? And you'll notice then that self-energy gives us a quality of being and I'm not going to say instead of, because the whole point of self-energy is that it's inclusive, and doing. So I might be doing, but I can still do from a place of my beingness, right? Mm-hmm. So the yummy thing about beingness, it's the energy of Shabbos Kodesh. It's the energy Yom Shekulo Tov. I'm already whole. I'm already healthy. I'm already loved. I am love. And therefore, I can see you for real. So here's a second quality about self in parts. As long as I need something from another person, I'm going to show up in parts rather than self-energy. If I need you to like me or love me or give me what I didn't get in my childhood or what, and again, these are not bad things. We just want to learn how to get more and more in self-energy. We call that Olam Haba. In our terms, Olam Haba is not when you die and you go to heaven. That's not a Jewish concept. Olam Haba is a state of being. That's why we say, right, you can bring in Shabbat before it's Shabbat. In other words, you can step into self-energy and bring the whole world more and more into that quality. So here's another quality of, that's why I say Shabbos and self-energy are very connected, because another quality of self-energy is peace. Peace as in shlemut, shalom. Remember, shalom is one of Hashem's names. So when we're in peace, we're in Hashem. When we're coming from peace, we're coming from our God self. God bless. God bless. Let's make it more personal. God bless you. Twice.
So if you're serving like the inner child or some other reason, then you're not in.
We're not, no, we're more in parts. Okay, so these are wonderful ways we can start to check. So if I'm coming to a class and I'm like, oh my God, am I going to remember what to say? And what if they like it? What if they don't like it? What if it helps them? What if it doesn't help them? So I'm like, oh, so I notice those parts. And I'm like, okay, so here's a super easy way to connect with self-energy. So I'm going to give you 3 really easy ways, okay? Way number 1 is simply to ask the parts, can you please step back and open space? And unless you're in a really heightened, like firefighter, fight, flight, freeze state, usually the parts will be like, oh yeah, cool, okay. It's very much like when a parent comes in with a toddler, and not in an aggressive way, but in a clear way that there's self-leadership. And the parent is like, okay, this is what we're doing now. We're going to leave the park and we're going to go home and take a bath. And it's not like, I used to do this a lot especially when I was a first time mother. Like I would go, we're going to leave the park, okay? And my child would be like, no, not okay. Right? Because I wasn't in self energy of like, it's not, I'm not a tyrant, but I am the leader in the system. Self energy is the leader, right? It's like what Judy said last week. Like you don't ask everybody what they want to learn. You come and you teach, right? Learn and unlearn.
Are you recording this project?
Maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
So you're saying you ask the parts?
You ask the parts, please open and give some space. Please step back, like you're crowding me, right? It's like, again, when you're a mommy, Hodul Hashem. I have a daughter who has 3 children under the age of 4. And so when she nurses, it's like, looks like cubs. There's just like beans everywhere, right? Hodul Hashem. But also it's like, okay, mommy needs a little air, right? Okay. So the goal of all of this, whether we call it Torah or we call it IFS, it's the same goal. It's to, I please everybody, I'm not going to shut my phone because it's going to take me too much time to find it and no one ever calls me on that number. But please, if you can, silence your phones every time I lose my train. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that is one way to access self-energy. Okay. Yes. I'm about to teach a class, and I have parts that are like, oh my God, am I late? Oh my God, are they going to like it? Who's here? Who's not here? What, and then I have to ask all those parts. Please, yeah, like my performer parts or my, oh, please like me parts, and be like, okay, I know you guys are in the space, but please just trust me. Please just step back, don't crowd me, let me breathe, and let me be in the driver's seat so that I can show up as a present, centered, compassionate person.
So it's acknowledging everything that's going on and
Yes.
saying, I hear you, okay, but you don't need to be here right now.
You can be here, but I'm driving. Right? And allow me to take care of you. I will take care of you. And if you need more attention later, I'll give you more attention later. Right? But okay, so it's very akin to, okay, and then another way that we can tap into self-energy is to open space inside myself, to connect inside of me to two very important energies, the energy of curiosity and the energy of compassion. Whenever those energies are legitimately in this space, very good chance that I'm in self-energy. Now, I don't want to talk about this now, but I just want you to know there is something called self-like parts. We used to call it, tzaddik and pelts in Yiddish. Okay, you know what that is, right? It's right, tzaddik and pelts. It's like I seem holy, I seem calm, but my calm is like, I'm calm. Okay, I'm calm. It's like that's not real self-energy. So they're called self-like, right? Or like in an argument, I might be like very coldly calm. That's not self-energy. Here's another hint to check if you're in self-energy. Does your heart feel open and relaxed? Or does your heart feel nervous, tight? Right? Now, and this is a wonderful exercise, and I would like to give it to you guys right now. It's one of my favorite meditations, and it's the easiest meditation in the whole world. And I try to practice this meditation every single day. We'll just do maybe 5 breaths right now of just try on. And again, you're going to have parts that are going to go, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Should I put in down here? Wait, why am I not feeling that? Wait, everyone else is doing it right, but I'm not doing it right. I can never do it right. Okay, again, those are your parts. Those are our parts. And you just go, it's okay. I trust you. It's okay. Okay, so we're going to take 5 breaths and just feel, what does it feel like? Just again, there's no right or wrong, just trust yourself to breathe in and out from a compassionate, healthy, balanced heart.
Can you define compassion?
Yes.
For me,
yes.
I always feel like I'm making excuses for other people's bad behavior.
I know that comes up every week. I know that part of yours. I'm getting to know that part of yours really well. Okay, but I'm not going to give my time. So yeah. Yes, I can. And you're going to laugh, but I was literally thinking of you several times this week because I wanted to say this, and I'm so happy that you brought it up because I see every week there's something going, and I see that part, and I understand that part because we can be very taken advantage of in the name of being compassionate. Right. Okay. So the first thing that we want to understand is there's 3 columns of energy in this tree. Okay. There is a right column, and that literally has a positive charge. Literally, we are actual electric beings. When we get to a certain state of enlightenment, we are going to laugh so hard that from our misperceptions of what we are. We are pulsating light and we are pulsating sound. That is all we are. That is all we are. Now, I was trained as an energy healer, so it's different for me. And I look at someone and I'm like, oh, there's a blue light above their head, and oh, today I see they had a little fight with their husband there. Sorry, no, not really.
She sees everything.
I do. Just no.
But she's really good at it.
But no, my kids actually used to be like, Mommy, stop looking at me. I love you. It's not like okay. So positive charge. Okay.
Why do you think I'm sitting here?
Oh. Okay. Left side of the column, receptive charge. I don't like to say negative because then people are like, man, it does have negative shadows, some, but all the parts do. Okay? But receptive, empty of its own light. It's a container. Its job is to contain, to hold, to ingest, to digest, to gestate. Okay. Middle column has a neutral charge, and its purpose is harmonization of the opposites, very much like in music. Okay, so you might have like a bassoon over here, a cello over here. They play in different keys. They have different sounds, and the middle quality is a quality that allows them to make music together, that each shines fully. The bassoon doesn't overpower the cello doesn't overpower the bassoon. And they play on each other's strengths and they bring out the beauty in each other. And we call that peace. And that is the center column. And let's talk about what that is for us. So it's Keter, it's Das Elyon. I'll take you through in a second. Okay. Now, do you want the harder, easier way or the easier, harder way?
Harder, easier.
Harder, easier. Okay, because there's really upper DOS, lower DOS, upper Malchus, lower Malchus. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you because you have enough self-energy. Okay, Keter, Das Elyon, Malchus Elyon. This is the upper Malchut. Okay, Tiferet, Tiferet, Yesod, lower Malchut. Lower Malchut. We have two Malchuts, right? We have two, right? We have two Malchuts. And as when I was beginning to study Chinese medicine, one of the things my teacher said, I was in my early 20s and I was like, wow. And I didn't know Kabbalah yet, was that this whole system mirrors this whole system. So that your shoulders mirror your hips and your chin mirrors your pelvis and your mouth mirrors your vaginal canal. And and the male yesod is your tongue. It's all a mirror. Whoa, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so
In other words, you have an upper yesod. Well, we don't have a lower yesod.
because I got that here and the forehead and I thought it was in the mouth.
Yeah, that's upper malchut. This isn't really what the class is about. So can you grab me after?
Yeah.
Look at me and my Gora shining. I've been working on this for so many years. Okay. Okay. So compassion is not chesed, not even energetically. What compassion is holding the truth that this person has parts that might be really irritating or scary or annoying, right? And they are whole and good and pure and inherently healthy and beautiful. And I can hold, wait, no, they are. That's the whole point of compassion is you're holding the truth at the same time and you're not deceiving yourself. You're not only seeing, this is what I did for years. You're only seeing their Nakuda Tova and you're not dealing with the reality in front of you that, it's like a Sufi saying, right? Like, trust everybody but tie your camel, right? It's like we're holding multiple worlds and realities at the same time. We're saying, yes, this person has a godly soul. They are a chelek Elohim imal. They are them and I am me. We are not separate. And in this moment, they might be deeply in parts. And therefore I need to protect myself or lock my door or take some space from the connection. But it's not me saying, I'm good, they're bad. Because that's not true. I have parts and they have parts. I have a godly soul. They have a godly soul. Hashem has a plan for me. Hashem has a plan for them. Hashem loves me. Hashem loves them. We get into, we're the good ones. They're the bad guys. Let's kill them so we can have a nice world. We do, right? If we could just get rid of those bad guys, we could have a good world.
That goes back to the other class.
Exactly.
Good, evil.
So guess what? There are bad guys in every one of us. We all have parts. And the Torah says something shocking. The Baalei Musar and, those guys were not like, they weren't fluffy little bunny rabbits. And they say, yeah, a person has to know that they are capable of murdering someone else. Not because you want to see yourself as a bad person, but because you have to understand that you contain God, and God is all energies. God is everything. And given the right circumstances and a lack of self-control and connection with self-energy, we're all capable of many things. And to deny that is to deny God inside of you. And the whole point of this tikkun is to join Yaakov and Esav together and create something called Yisrael. Did I throw you off yet?
No.
Okay, this is the whole point. Yaakov and Esav is two, and by the way, Chazal say, not all Chazal, but enough, that they were identical twins. Now, how could they be identical? One is hairy and one is smooth. So the Chazal say, yeah, that's a metaphor for their nature. One was yashar and one was crooked, right? But they were looking at each other and going, am I you or am I me? Like, oh, am I the good one, the bad? Like, right? And by the way, so were Rachel and Leah.
Identical twins?
Yes. What? Yes. Again, Shivim Panim, man, 70 faces to Torah, right? But there's Deot that say they were both identical twins. And Leah and Esav are holding the bad parts, otherwise just known as Tohu energy, whatever, which guess what? Are the higher lights. The dark lights are the higher lights. Weird. I know. Similar to how we say where we're going with this Geula process is the body is going to be more spiritual than the soul. The body is going to start to teach the soul. I didn't make this up. I mean, just in case you think I made it up. This is straight up Chazal. And guess what is even more weird? That receiving will be higher than giving. That the ultimate goal that we're going for is to learn how to receive.
Can you go back and explain?
Wait, let me finish with Emunah. Okay, so compassion means the ability to hold and stretch and hold so much more wholeness of the truth of the situation, of the truth of myself and the truth of the other person, and understand that that there are no bad parts. I know. There's dangerous parts can act in dangerous ways. Parts can show up in behaviors that need containment or need distance from. This is the whole point that we say, the whole thing why Hashem says yesterday to Moshe Rabbeinu, Kol HaKavod, for shattering the luchot, is because those were luchot of pure din. Pure din. What did we get in the second luchot? The second set of 10 commandments? We got the Yud Gimel Midos HaRachamim. We got and 13 is code, by the way. It's meant to make you go, oh, it's about love and unity, right? 13 is the gematria of Ahava and Echad, right? And that's God's name. God's name is, God's name is Echad, not God's name is one. God's name is Echad. Like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Echad. Like that. That it's Echad is a vibration, it's a frequency of being able to be okay with paradox and polarities, that this person is godly, whole, healthy, beautiful, and right now dangerous as heck.
Like they say, mother moose is the most dangerous animal in the Northwest, more than a grizzly bear, because she's going to protect her young. She's intense.
But you can hold two exactly opposite emotions at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Or that what Pinchas does this week makes him a prince of peace. I'm sorry, what? He did the most compassionate thing in the world. Okay, so far, yeah? Okay, so another quick and easy way to come into self-energy is our breath. So again, if we go back to the tree, we're going to say the right side is largely governed by the element of water. Water's nature is to be in continuous flow, to fill every space without differentiation. It's never judging. There's no judgment. Water will go and water anything. It will water, weeds, and it will water flowers. It doesn't care. Its nature is to saturate, to give. Yeah? Fire is the left column. Right? It is consumptive. It will eat whatever it's in its path. Right? It's also warming.
But water can also.
Absolutely. Again, this is part of sitting with paradox. Everything holds within it that it can be used in the service of life, and it can be used in the service of death. By life, we mean furthering harmony and connection and growth. By death, we mean furthering disconnection, disharmony, and the illusion of scarcity, that there's only a certain amount, right? And the illusion of separateness. Those are our terms from Kabbalah. And Hashem says, Hine, I place before you today life and death. Choose life. In other words, any energy in you is not inherently good or bad. Any energy in you is a part of the living God. Anger is good. Shame is good. Jealousy is good. Competition is good. All these parts where we go, oh, part of me so ugly. No, not ugly. We can use it and in imbalanced ways and create death, or we can use it in the service of life. Self-energy is the very fountain of life, so much so that we call Tiferet, which is the center of the center. So I just want you to notice that. It's the center from left to right, slightly off to the left, and there's reasons for that. The heart, Tiferet. And it's also the center going this way. It is the center. Center is the highway of energies. It's an energy highway. Everything has to pass through Tiferet. Okay? It's what connects spiritual and animal. It's otherwise called the human center, because here we get more into divine energies, and here we get more into survival animal. In other words, we share these energies more with the animal kingdom. Here we get into speech, right? Here we get into higher reasoning. Here we get into impulse control. Those are more divine. Yes? So far, so good? We are a missing link in the chain, because we're not of the angel kingdom and we're not of the animal kingdom. We are both, and we are neither. This is called Yisrael. 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 Oh, do I, don't I? Do I, don't I? You know you're going to, Reva, so just do it.
Do it.
Why do we have this Torah that says that in Mashiach comes people who thought they were Jews may be surprised to discover that they're not. And people who are not Jews might be discovered. It's not, okay. And it could also happen through all these wonderful things like, these gene testers and all.
DNA.
Okay, but it's not saying that. It's saying something deeper. It's saying that Israel is to live in right compassion. It is an energy of peacefulness, of harmony. It is being that, not talking it, not preaching it, being it. When you walk into a space, people immediately feel better because you are a nefesh Eloki. You are a divine spirit. And in a vessel that is holding and carrying and channeling and being that energy. This is our mission on the planet. Yisrael means, it's right, remember we said El is to be an angel? Right, Michael, Gabriel, Yisrael, to be an angel of Yosher, of right living, of harmony, but specifically knowing how to harmonize polarities and paradox and live from that place. And it's not either or. Therefore, we're not called Bnei Yaakov. We're called Bnei Yisrael. Sometimes we're called Bnei Yaakov, and that's because we were not yet fully in our Mochin de Galut. Whenever we're in our Mochin de Katnut, we're called Yaakov, the heel. Whenever we're in Mochin de Galut, we're called Yisrael.
Are there some people that are born more in this place of self-energy, but it comes from control?
No.
No?
However, there are some people whose parts go through trauma at earlier and earlier ages, and therefore the parts learn extreme behaviors and extreme responses at earlier and earlier ages. Parts are inherently good. They're just godly energies. Anger is inherently good. Now, again, I'm terrified of violence. I'm particularly terrified of male violence because of things that I saw and went through as a child. But it's not, that's my work to be okay with anger. That's part of what we're learning in Parshat Pinchas. In our society, we're like, no, it was so violent. Who says violence is bad? Sorry, really treading now. Violence is another piece of Hashem. Now, we don't get to make it up. And do you want to hear something crazy? It says if Pinchas would have second guessed, if he would have asked a posek, he wouldn't have been able to kill them. Isn't that weird? If he would have asked a posek, because he wasn't then channeling Hashem. Again, don't try this at home, kids, okay? I'm channeling Hashem. No. Okay, so compassion is a frequency. Rachamim is not the same frequency as chesed. Rachamim, and again, Rechem, it comes from that middle place, is to appreciate that all beings suffer. And therefore, they may be in deep parts because they're in deep suffering. And I can hold that awareness as I make a boundary. I don't have to hate them in my heart. That's the difference. My heart is not full of judgment or hatred towards them. The opposite, my own heart, and this is hard. This work is hard, but this is Geula. We are clearing, we have energies in our heart. If you don't believe me, check in with your heart. Think of a person that right now that a little bit shtickle, you might hate them. A little bit shtickle, lefachot, you have a resentment to them. Lefachot, you're scared of them. Okay? Or it's not comfortable to be around their energy. Why do we care? Because it clogs our energy system. It clogs our connection with God and with ourselves. It's like gooey and tar and sticky, right? And it makes it hard to only let in the good energy. Like, okay, I love you, pass. But no, if it's clogged, it's clogged. We don't want to be clogged. So how do we stay open-hearted, free-flowing, and not? And this was my father's Okay, you tell me if this is a funny joke, but this was my father's favorite joke. It is funny, but every year my father would visit me. And again, I was very imbalanced in these areas, largely because I grew up at Shlomo's feet, and I'm not Shlomo. I'm a woman, and I'm a whole different thing. But I didn't know that. So I was like modeling myself after Shlomo my whole life. So you always give, and you give to everybody, and you never say no, and you help everybody, and you let everyone sleep in your house if they don't have a place, and you feed everybody, and I did that for years, as my children will tell you. We had lots and lots of not very mentally stable people in our home. Right? And it took me a very long time to understand, like, oh, okay, that's not rachami. That's imbalance chesed. Okay, that's like chesed that needs to come back. Now, here's a really beautiful thing. If you are living from either polarity, says the Torah, you are not healthy.
Right.
You are not.
Right.
So if you are extremely holy, you could be extremely unhealthy. What? I didn't know that. These are Torahs I learned al havasal, because you could be extremely holy and shutting off all sorts of, you could shut off your sexual center. I'm extremely holy. Well, you're not, because there's a whole center in your body that's clogged and repressed and suppressed. Now, again, sometimes the Rambam says in order to get healthy, we have to go to an extreme for a while to heal an extreme on the other side. But the goal is to come back to center. So we call this center Tiferet, which has the word in it, lerapeh, to heal, to be healthy, rofeh. It's also pe'er sounds like be'er. And therefore, where do you meet your soulmate? You always meet your soulmate at the well.
זה רק אומר לה, בגלל שיעור תורה, בסדר גמור, אם את רוצה שיהיה לך עוד שיעור תורה, גם אני רוצה לשמוע תורה, אבל אני רוצה לעשות גם את העבודה שלי. בסדר?
תודה.
אני לא רוצה, אני אומר לך שלא,
Okay, we're also recording, so let's can't make this stuff up. Right. So just notice, what did that do to your parts? Just take a second, don't talk. Just what did that do to your parts?
Constricted,
annoyed, feared,
Annoying,
nervous.
shaky.
Right. So just notice. He's just doing his job. So you just start to notice what is
But
it.
this is where I feel like you're making excuses for bad behavior.
But that wasn't bad behavior. He was coming in and
Well,
saying,
he could have done that in a much more polite and gentle and less aggressive
He
manner.
just was looking
He
for
just
an
said-
outlet, and then he asked me the door.
Yeah, he's just doing his work. If a Rav had been giving a shiur, well, it was good.
I don't know.
A man was sitting there giving a shiur.
I beg your
I
pardon.
don't think it had anything to do with.
Oh, is my beard? Okay.
But he didn't.
we're going off
Hydra.
track.
Do you see how parts work?
Yeah.
This is a perfect, I actually planted them there. I just. You all fell for it.
But you see what I mean about making the
Yes.
behavior,
But
right?
it-
Okay, I can
Again,
understand
it may or
all
may
the
not.
reasons why I might have done it, but
Again, if I was more in self-energy, again, I might have been able to say, Toda, Lochshav, Toda, whatever, right? Okay, we're working, we're getting there. But can you just start to notice parts, what it brings up in you, like,
Can I hit the joke?
yes. Oh my God. Okay. It's literally one line.
And that
Okay.
and the 5 breaths.
See, this is what happens. I have like 900 tabs open in my
Given
brain.
us the 3 things about checking and self-energy.
Yes, I wrote them down. I've got 4 of them.
Oh, I only have 2.
There you go. Parts. See? Parts. Okay. It's one line. It's just my dad's joke for years is he would come and he would tell me, you are a member of the frequent fryer club.
Oh. Wow.
Fryer.
Fryer.
frequent fryer, right?
What
Because
does it mean?
Oh my
What's a
gosh.
fryer?
Somebody who people take advantage
Oh,
of.
that's what.
the easiest way to explain a fryer is to not be in rachamim, but to always be from chesed. To the point of self-harm or endangering my children because there's only one channel on, and that channel is chesed. And that's very unhealthy. You see, Yisrael means you're always being tipped. You're always on the edge of a sword. You're always on the edge of a sword, right? In other words, you're a living Torah. So you're always facing a real-time experience with a real-time you and a real-time other person. And if you're in a living Torah, you're responding. That's what Pinchas knew how to do. You're responding from a living, flowing place inside of yourself, not a belief or a concept. If you are responding from a belief or a concept, guess what that's called? It's going to blow your mind. Avodah zarah. You are worshiping a concept, not a living God. A living God is a flow of living energy from, that's why a posek might take a question from two different people and give two different answers. Is the chicken kosher or is it not? Yes, no. What? Yes, because it's more than a black and white thing. It's a living relationship. What are these person's finances? Right, that's the classic example that they always give. Can this person afford to buy another chicken? And the Rav is taking all of that into account, which could sound a lot like gaslighting, but it's not. Meaning it could sound like, are you just making this stuff up? Like it's the same chicken. How could it be kosher for one person and not kosher for another person? That's the point. Because you're looking at the totality of the person and their circumstances and the totality of life, which is called God. The totality of life is called God. Hashem Echad, the totality of all reality. And by the way, realities, because we have multiple worlds.
310 I learned today.
10?
310. I learned today. Worlds. Are you going to count them now?
Can we do the 5 breaths you talked about? The five breaths. You spoke about the 5 breaths, and we were about to do it, and then we got derailed.
Did I? Wow.
We started.
Okay. I don't remember.
That meditation. Okay, do it. Do whatever you want.
No, I don't. I'm so sorry.
have to go
I
back
lost
to
the
it.
thread. I lost the thread.
Okay.
But I have
really
to,
want to do this.
again, I have deep trust.
Does your heart feel open and relaxed? You're going to do a meditation with 5 breaths.
Yeah, good for
But she's
you.
already like gone past
Okay.
That
You
was.
still want to do the 5 breaths?
Oh, please God. Okay. I'm momish blanking. Okay.
It's fine. You said you wanted to start with some Torah.
But
So
let's
this is
give a little piece of Torah just to round it off, because moms, we have 7 minutes. Oh, 10. We have 10. That clock is wrong.
You can't do this like, we all want to. We want
120.
Again, as long as I don't, there's a,
Yeah.
I don't mess up with the cleanup.
Can I?
Yes, please.
No, I just think that you said the 3 things about some energy. One of them was to ask the parts to leave. The other one was to open the space inside of us.
Summon curiosity.
Exactly. What was the third?
Okay, the third is breath.
With your heart.
The third is, yes.
The third is.
This is the breath I was gonna do.
Third is the breath?
Thank you. See?
Third is the breath?
It wasn't 5 different breaths. I wanted you to just take 5 breaths
Yeah.
Right.
from a
But that
place
was
of,
number 3 is breath?
yes. Okay, so the way that Richard Schwartz, who's the founder of IFS, teaches this is it's very similar to a beautiful bright sun and clouds covering the sun. There's 2 ways you can get access to the sun. You can move the clouds, right? In other words, we can work with the parts that are covering up the bright light, right? Or we can increase the light of the sun, and therefore the clouds start to dissipate. Now, why is this again really important? And Alana, you're not going to like this, but it's just take it in for a second. When we are in a connection with somebody, there has to be at least one side in self-energy. Otherwise, there's no connection happening. There's parts to parts. That's like two bulls, right? Ki'ilu, there's connection, but it's just, I'm right. No, I'm right. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. Okay? So the first way to increase peace into the world is to increase self-energy in yourself. By self-energy, we mean, again, I'm here right now. I'm present. So I want to say something else really bizarro. On the tree of life, Chachma is connected to the past. Why? Because you've learned it. You've learned a piece of wisdom. Now it's with you. It's yours. You replay it in your mind, right? Or, the example they always give in Chabad that there's a lightning strike and you get a whole flash of the whole picture and then, right? And then it's gone, but you got a flash and you can remember, zikaron, zecher, zachar, the masculine is about the past. Bina, you can see where I'm going with this, right? Bina is connected to the future from boneh, livnot, to build. That's why women have bina yetera, and they can go on a date and see themselves with 5 kids and the house and the garden, and the man's just like, what kind of coffee do you want? Sorry, we love them. But they're zachar, and we're shamor. Shamor v'zachor, right? However, you get where I'm going with this. The middle column is the ever eternal now. It's now. That's where life is flowing now. That's where you can connect with Hashem now. Guess what? That's where Moshe Rabbeinu goes to get Ruach HaKodesh, Bein HaKruvim, between the two polarities, between the parts. He goes to the very heart. That's where you can hear the Shekhinah. Guess what? We have the software. Here's one kruv, right brain. Here's the other kruv, left brain. 2 angels on top of the aron, on top of the ark, in the tabernacle, right? In the Mishkan. Bein HaKruvim. That's where we put the tefillin. Well, not we necessarily, but Rashi's daughters, right? Bein HaKruvim. Here's another Bein HaKruvim. One lung, another lung, heart. Bein HaKruvim. It's wild, right? Now, not sorry. Men also have Bein HaKruvim, right? Bein HaKruvim. That's where the Shekhinah resides. That's Yesod. That's truth and connection. That's compassionate connection. That's healthy bonding. That's why they have a different tikkun of Yesod than we do.
You missed right left over.
There. Yum. That's right. The room in the middle. Whenever you have one of something, one knows.
Yes.
That's called Erech HaPayim. That's the seed of compassion. Erech HaPayim is one, right? But 2 nostrils, which is a whole other story. Fine, right? When you have a one, some things are 2, some things are 1. Some things are 2, some things are 1, right? So it's very intentional. Very intentional. The ones are always about blending the energies, and harmonizing them, and that's why a baby comes through the one, right? It's the mother, the father, all blended, harmonized into something that the sum is greater than the whole of the parts. Okay, so yes, let's just take 5 breaths. And the practice, okay, so this is very important. So if you find yourself across from somebody and you're in parts and they're in parts, say, I need to go generate some self-energy before we continue this conversation. Nothing good ever comes from parts to parts interactions. It's like a 2-year-old and gone with a 2-year-old and gone, mine, no, mine, right? That's that's the level of the consciousness. It's in place. And it will result to I punch you, you punch me. I grab from you, you grab from me, because it's literally driven from the amygdala, which this isn't just like mystical. This is in our brain. We have 3 brains. We have 3 energy calls. It's always about the 3, right? Yeah. 3 is always compassion. Yeah. Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, right? Amygdala, limbic, prenatal, frontal cortex.
I just want to say that, but most of the time, that is really where we spend our lives, is in the parts. I mean, we can strive to get to there, and we hope we can get there, but we do spend a lot of time in our parts. Okay, so you're saying you should try not to.
That's
It's
called-
going to happen in your interaction with people, but that's just.
No, the
nature of
only
where
difference
we are.
is we pause and we say, wait, hold
I'm
on.
here.
The pause is everything. The pause is everything. Even if you pause for 1 second and you go back to fighting,
Yeah.
you've changed the universe. Next time, maybe you'll pause for 2 seconds. The pause is everything. Okay?
Yeah.
Because, and you can say to the other person, not, you know what? You're not in self energy right now. You need to go get yourself in self energy and then come back and talk to me. Right? Not that. Right? I am going to sit myself down and open to self energy. Here's the other way you know that you're not in self energy. If you're trying to be in self energy, you're not in self energy. No, and that's the beauty.
Wait, that's
I
not-
know.
You just said put ourselves into self-energy. So then we have to try to do that, and now you're saying we're not.
No, and you're
Allow.
trying these or not.
Allow. Here's how we get into self energy. We allow ourselves to feel whatever we're feeling. We allow the parts. We sit down and we don't say, I shouldn't feel angry, but I do, but I shouldn't. We allow and accept and welcome and say, all the parts are welcome. Whatever I'm feeling is what I'm feeling. I'm not going to be in a ma'avak with it. I am not going to fight it. I'm not going to judge it. If we're in judgment or criticism, this is a clue to ourselves or to someone else. We're in parts. That's how you know you're in a part. If you are judging or criticizing yourself or anybody else, then you know you're in a part. It's okay to judge. We're not cutting any parts out. We're just saying then that is an extreme idea or energy or belief, and it needs help. It's not well, it's not healthy. Right? It's like yeah. I think we did really good work today because these are just to catch us. Okay, so we're 1:30?
Yeah.
Oh, so that clock is fast.
So
We can do the breathing. So I really do have 4 minutes and 14 seconds. 12, 11. Okay. Okay. So these are beautiful ways to start noticing. Yeah, that really threw me off in the beginning. Also, I'm like, I'm in self energy. Just kidding. I'm really not in self energy, right? But it means I'm gonna take a break, and I'm going to care for myself. And this is what I do now. And sounds a little shtickle crazy, but it says Hashem is with the crazy ones and the children, right? So here you go, right? I go to my bed if I'm in a part. I lie down. I physically hug myself. Now, I might even rock myself. And I'm just like, I'm here for you, Reva. I'm here for you. I love you. I believe in you. You're doing okay. You're doing really good. Yeah, you're not perfect, but guess what? Perfectionism, come on, say it with me, is a part. That was the whole reason why Moshe broke those luchot, because perfectionism itself keeps us locked in parts. To make a mistake and to go, hey, it wasn't even a mistake. That was a learning opportunity.
Is perfectionism even have a desire like what serving?
Yes. Yes, avodah zarah is another way of saying parts. That's why we don't worship an idol, because only an idol can be the same thing consistently all the time. It's a concept, it's not living. A living human is going to be many things. I have ugly parts and I have pretty parts and I have change and I'm changing and I'm in flux. And if you try to lock me and say, this is me, then you don't know me. That's why I don't know me. I'm still discovering. And by the way, Richard Schwartz says that parts have parts. And we know this because you ever go to like a class in Oregon News and it's like chesed shebemalchut chesed be'atzilus of Atika of the Shechina, and you're like, what? Okay. So we're just gonna do these breaths. Okay, it's just 5 breaths, and I just want you to practice this, especially if someone's yelling at you. And by the way, that somebody, the person who yells at me the most, I don't know about you guys, is this one. Like, whenever I'm running late, I'm like, oh, you said you're gonna be here. And then I'm just like, just pack your bag and just go. Okay. It's just like, it's not gonna help to get into a whole like inner war. It's just like, okay, you're learning, you'll do better, I love you.
We were learning in Parsha, the commentators say, use the word like conceive. Like they.
Katsef is to foam at the mouth.
To work out
To be a werewolf, basically. Whipped cream. Oh, I like that. It's better. Okay, so here we go. So if you need to get into self energy, and we're dropping in, you see, that's the whole point. That's the paradox. It's not effortful. You can't effort your way into meditation because you're already not meditating. Because the mental mind is already, am I doing it right? Am I relaxed? Am I enlightened? Oh my God, when am I going to be enlightened? Right? Okay, so this is a really beautiful meditation, and it's the easiest thing on earth. It's just practice. What does it feel like to breathe in and out through your relaxed, trusting, harmonious. Now, sorry, before we breathe, because when I say peace, again, it can feel effortful, and I want to keep stressing again and again. The core of self energy is that it's accepting of all that is without judging it. It's accepting it. It doesn't mean you don't have a boundary, but you're accepting this is where I am right now. This is where this person is right now. And I have to deal with that. But I don't have to hate them or kill them to deal with it. I have to deal with, right? So middle column, Rachamim, is always about, I'm accepting that this is God right now. This is what God is placing in me and in front of me and before me. And I'm meeting God with acceptance. This is here. This is here. I can't wish it away or pray it away or yell it away, or it's here. So can I meet it with curiosity and compassion? The two main energies of knowing you're in self energy. Curiosity and compassion. Curiosity is the opposite of judging and criticizing. It's being curious. Why is this person acting like this? Why are they showing up like this?
Why am I reacting?
Of course. Okay, so 5 breaths, just in and out through your heart, which means in this moment, you're accepting all of you in this moment. You're just accepting, right? And you're allowing Hashem to come into the very heart of all that you are, what you judge yourself to be, what you wish you were more of or less of. And you're just letting Hashem touch you in that inner space of what's here, what you actually are right now. Okay, ready? We're just going to take. Just take one more. Offering yourself is what the book talks. Offering yourself compassion, forgiveness, acceptance, witnessing of all that you are in this moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Very much.
Does anyone know how to work technology? Sorry, we didn't.
Checking in with her every night.
Hold on, let's check.
Oh,
Can you show me so that I don't have to bother you each time?
Who is that? That's Maya. Hi, Maya.
And Leia,
Oh, I did that wrong. Don't learn from me. Okay, so we do touch here someplace and it says more, not down here.
okay.
Here, more. First one.